Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and playing a lot of Dead Man's Hand Warrior lately in Wild, and I'm playing a lot of Dirty Rat in that deck, and I put out a tweet, and it kind of got me feeling like, man, I really wish Dirty Rat was in Standard. The card just feels like really good. It's a combo disruption card, and it can just be a value killer and all that, and there's downside to it. It's kind of balanced in that way, like you pull a giant minion or something, it's bad. You can be good with, you can time it, like the longer you wait, depending. If you can get a read on their hand of what they're holding, you might be able to yoink something valuable. And it just got me thinking, it'd be kind of cool if some cards might be added back to Standard, to like the classic set that have been Hall of Fame, that just will never see the light of day again. So I thought, let's put together a top 10 list of the cards I would like to see back in Standard from Wild. And again, this is just personal preference. Yours may vary. These are just the cards I think would be cool to see come back. And again, not even really recommending that they do this. This is more of just a pipe dream, or just, you know, just theorizing, fantasizing about what could happen. Just thought it'd be an interesting topic. One thing I want to point out on this list is I'm not really going to recommend cards that were like insanely crazy, like really meta-defining or deck-defining, crazy good cards. Like, let's say like Gul'dan, like, or Frostledge Jaina, you know, Death Knight, stuff like that. I'm kind of suggesting cards that could either give classes that might need a little bit of help, some help right now, or just cards that really fit into the classic flavor, or cards that just create checks and balances for certain archetypes that either need it now or might need it in the future, and this could kind of put these checks and balances in the game permanently by being in the classic set. So if these type of archetypes get out of control, there'll always be at least some counterplay you can throw in there and not feel completely helpless. So let's take a look at my top 10, and I guess we'll just go with straight 10, even though there's no real particular order to this video. We'll just say Dirty Rat for the reasons I said. It's a cool combo disruption card. You know, it rewards skill in a lot of ways, of like you hold it for that right turn, or if you're just playing it against aggro, like you Dirty Rat and just hope you pull a small little token, you get advantage with the taunt. Or you have like times where you Dirty Rat and then use an AoE effect and kill something off at the exact same time. I just really like the design of the card. There is the random element of it, so it's not like you're always guaranteed to pull what you want to pull. And it can just be, yeah, fun in that way, frustrating in that way. But I mean, it's Hearthstone, right? It just feels like a Hearthstone card. So yes, number 10 for me would be Dirty Rat. Number 9, I have Gluttonous Ooze. Yes, Gluttonous Ooze. We already have Acidic Swamp Ooze. We have like Harrison Jones in that. Bloodsail Corsair, I believe it's called. It can like remove durability, but I don't know. Whenever weapons get out of control, which happens quite a bit these days, they like to print these pretty insane weapons. Like, well, we got some new ones coming out this expansion, and recently it would Warglaves and Wrench Caliber and all the Corsair cash stuff. It just feels good to be able to tech your deck and put in an ooze that not only removes the card, but actually, you know, you don't really feel that loss. Like, you play a 2-mana 3/2 to remove a weapon, it's still kind of a tempo loss. It doesn't really do anything. But when you play Gluttonous Ooze, you gain the health back. It's like a big deal and a big swing. And I like the design of the card. It's a tech card that like actually kind of gives you good upside and doesn't feel crippling or anything like that to put in your deck. I don't know. I really like Gluttonous Ooze, and when like Demon Hunter and Warrior were really running rampant, I just really wish that card existed in Standard. And you could even replace like Acidic Swamp Ooze for this card. I like the idea of gaining health for removing the weapon. Maybe it's a bit too much. Maybe I just hate on the weapon decks too much. But hey, this is my list. I'm going to go with it. Number 8, I am going to go with Firefly. This little 1-drop, it's a 1-mana 1/2, and it has a battle cry of it puts a flame elemental into your hand, which is also 1 mana. I just feel like this is one of the best designed, well-balanced 1-drops ever. It's so versatile, and it just feels like it would be a nice kind of evergreen 1-drop that aggro decks, mid-range decks could always fall back on. You always have this solid 1-drop. It has elemental synergies depending on what cards are in the game. And it just feels good to play, and it never feels like bad to face. Like, I've never felt that this card was egregious in any way. It was just a really well-designed 1-drop, and I feel like if it was like an Eternal one, I'd be really down for that. Yeah, so Firefly, I'm going to put on there. Number 7, I'm going to go with Amethyst Spellstone for Warlock. So this came out, I believe, in Kobolds, was the Spellstone time, and basically it starts out as a 4-mana spell that Has lifesteal, deals 3 damage to a minion, and is lifesteal for 3. And if you take damage, it goes to 5, and then you take damage again, it goes to 7. The animation of this card has just always felt super... I don't know. Everything about this card just always felt good. The animation, the reward, like the Warlock implication, you know, you get like self-hurt and then you get the reward of it. You heal. And it's like Warlock always has this issue of like healing. If they don't have decent healing in Standard, they just suck. Like, unless you're playing Zoo. And this card would just always be there. And it's always going to have certain synergies with like Hellfire, Flame Imp, other, you know, self-damaging cards in the game. And I just like that. I feel this card was always so satisfying. And it's not like egregiously powerful. Like right now in Wild, it doesn't even see play. But, you know, put this card in Standard. I love the design of the card. It always felt really good to play. And the swing of healing for 7 always felt really good. So I would put this on there. It just feels very Warlock to me. And you wouldn't have to worry about printing good healing cards all the time for Warlock. You would have one eternally in the set. Number 6, I'm going to go with Zero Poisoned Mind. This is a rogue legendary. It's a 4-mana 3/2 as a battle cry and a death rattle. Add a random toxin to your hand. And these toxins vary from like dealing 2 damage. It's like a 1-mana Shadow Step, giving a minion stealth, +3 attack, and I believe drawing a card. And these all feel very rogue to me. They pretty much all are like classic set style of things, like drawing a card. The only thing is like arguably stealth, but you still have that 4-drop that gives them minion stealth, just nobody plays it. It just feels very Warlock, feels very rogue to me, and it fits with the classic theme. It fits with their class identity really well. It's a real combo enabling card. It's not like overpowered or it's a 4-mana 3/2. It's not egregious in that way. It just always felt like a really well designed rogue card, and it's a legendary. Hell, you could Hall of Fame Edwin and put this in there. That would be fantastic, you know? Like, it's just one of my favorite rogue cards that has RNG to it, but it just feels rogue. And it's not like egregious RNG either. So 0 would be on there. Number 5, I would go... Paladin needs help, alright? Paladin needs some help. And one of the big issues they have is card draw. They always have this issue of card draw. Like, you have like Hand of Adal or whatever, and you have Hammer of Wrath. Like, you have all these cards that draw one. Just freaking terrible. So for me, I throw Solemn Vigil into the mix. I've always loved this card. It's a 5-mana draw 2. Sounds terrible, but it costs 1 less for each minion that's died this turn. So you can make it cost 0, draw 2, and it works really well with like your quality consecration effects or the I believe Libram of Justice that like lets you basically do an equality effect as well. And then you get that clear, you get the draw, and you can really cycle, and it just feels, I don't know, feels Paladin to me. I've always thought this design of card is really good. It makes you work for it, never overpowered. And, you know, like 1-mana draw 2 is good, 2-mana draw 2 is good, 3-mana draw 2 is good. You only need to have like 2 minions die. And again, it's not even a card that sees play in Wild, but in Standard, you give Paladin access to at least decent card draw. It's not amazing card draw, it's just decent. Then maybe you don't have these issues every single rotation where they just can't get cards. So, yeah, Solemn Vigil, I feel like Paladin needs something, and that would be on the list. Next on the list, number 4, I'm going to put Tar Creeper. It's a 3-mana 1/5 taunt, and on your opponent's turn, it gains +2 attack. I just feel like this is always like one of the best, well-designed anti-aggro cards, as well as an aggro card. Like, you could put it in a lot of buff decks, because it's got a good stat line. It's got 5 health, and you keep buffing it, and it's pretty good in, like, the aggro mirror and all that. So, I don't know, I just always felt this card was really well-designed, felt good to play, and it never felt terrible to face. I don't know, at least for me. And, you know, it's just something, like, you don't have to keep printing these, like, quasi anti-aggro taunts they do like nearly every couple of expansions, because you know you need to give neutral defensive options. Well, if you have Tar Creeper in the game, maybe you don't have to rehash those ideas so many times over and over and over. Put Tar Creeper in the game, it's a pretty unanimously well-liked card. I think it would feel pretty good, so I'll put Tar Creeper as mentioned. And then we have number 3 is a Druid card, Poison Seeds. This card just feels Druid to me. You destroy all minions and you replace them with 2/2 Treants. Treants has been like really pushed by Blizzard for quite a long time in Druid, and they recently lost Naturalize. They lost Naturalize to the Hall of Fame, and there's like really no good hard removal at all in Druid, and this isn't even really that good of hard removal. In Wild, it's really good because you can Seeds and Plague and all that stuff. Like, Seed Starfall's okay, which you could do in Standard. But for most part, it's still not that amazing, and I just feel like it would be nice for Druid to have some kind of hard removal and not rely on just pure scam with either mana cheat or ramping and all that stuff. I guess as someone who's really biased towards Druid, who really loves playing Druid, it just feels like a card that feels like it could really belong in the classic set. Although I could see a lot of people disagreeing that maybe Poison Seeds is a little too strong to just eliminate giant minions for 4 mana, but against aggro, this card can really suck, and with no Spreading Plague in Standard, that's a big deal, so I don't know. I'd like to see Poison Seeds added. If Naturalize wasn't Hall of Famed, I'd disagree, but they just have like 0 hard removal, and I feel like the class should have at least something. Number 2 is, the last 2, by the way, are neutral legendary, so no more class cards here, although Firefly and Gluttonous Ooze were neutral. Anyways, number 2 is Loatheb. 5 mana, 5/5, Battle Cry. Your next opponent's spell costs 5 mana, or 5 mana more. This card's great in aggro. It's great in like a control deck sometimes that wants to like stall out an opponent, like lock them out, like you've seen with like Brand, Loatheb, and Wild. I just like the fact that this card provides such good disruption on so many decks that can become oppressive. Like control decks, combo decks, if they get out of control. Outside of Dirty Rat, which again is even in Standard, it's really hard to not oppress them, to deal with them if they're getting out of control. Like, there's not a lot of counterplay, and Loatheb would be like that check you could always throw in there, as long as it's a spell-oriented combo or control deck, which is like 99% of them. Currently in Standard, that's not really a thing. Control and combo is freaking dead. But if you have Loatheb there, and they're gonna eventually support control and combo, right? Eventually it might get really out of control, because we did have a combo meta a while ago, especially when like Malfurion and Twig and all that stuff was around. It was very combo heavy. Loatheb can just really help deal with that, and for me, I feel it's a very, very, very powerful card, but it's never felt, to me, really unfair. Like, it gives aggro a way of like locking the game out at times, and I think that's fine. I don't want to put every card on here being control or combo based, and I feel like you put that check in there, Loatheb can absolutely crap all over that, and it'd just be a nice classic set edition. And I mean, most people in Wild still have it, so you wouldn't even have to craft it, right? So that's 2 through 10. What's my number 1? Well, I'm curious to see what people's reaction is to this, because people love this card. They love it. They love its voice line. It's been in so many decks for a long time, and it just recently got rotated. But I'm going to put Ziliax. Ziliax, just a 5 mana 3/2, Lifesteal, Divine Shield, Rush, Magnetic Mech. It's just like the perfect anti-aggro card that can also be a tempo card because it has the magnetic. It can just do so much cool stuff. And you get the Lifesteal, and when aggro is out of control, Ziliax could help a lot. Like, it would have been very interesting to see how Demon Hunter would have been in Standard if Ziliax was still there. Would have been a little bit more manageable. Probably not, but you never know. So just like Loatheb would be that check in place to kind of screw with the control and combo decks, Ziliax could be like that check in place to screw with like the mid-range or aggro decks, to like give you that chance to get some mid-range life, some mid-range defense, because that doesn't really exist in the neutral set permanently, like at all in Classic. So Ziliax for me is just a really well-designed, powerful card. Like, it's very powerful, but for me it never felt disgustingly broken or OP. But again, you might disagree with me on that. But Ziliax would probably be my number 1 choice. Ziliax and Loatheb would be a great pair, and then all the other ones mentioned. So I thought it would be an interesting video to do. Let me know if you agree, disagree. What cards would you bring back to Standard? Would you just never, ever bother with it after the Evolved Shaman fiasco? Like, I'm never want wild cards in Standard. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.